Barcelona. I'm in the city. 5.5 million people live here on the coast with the Mediterranean Sea. It's a biotope in itself. So many different cultures, so many different languages, and it is a well-known city across the world. So what do we do with all this biodiversity in people? There is luckily enough input in the biodiversity in the green areas of the city as well. One of them is where I'm visiting at just now. Connect Hort. In Catalan, this means connect in the vegetable garden. Let's have a look. Right, so here we are, Barcelona. I was telling you about the 5.5 million people that live there on the edge of the Mediterranean Sea. So marginal areas, edges, are where biodiversity is. Now, is this really true for Barcelona? Let's have a look what permaculture is doing in the city. So this is an overview of Barcelona. Maybe some of you have seen this before. The typical pattern that we can see in Barcelona dates back to the 19th century. The Pla Cerdà, it was called, and it was a hygienist approach to be able to live healthily in a larger city because the old town was getting too small. So the idea was that the sun could come through from all sides, the wind would be able to flow through the big, broad avenues, and everybody would live happily ever after. Of course, speculation came, and through the 19th century, it started getting built up again. And the idea behind it was, if we are going to get penthouses, build them back a little bit, people on the ground floor will still get the sun in their windows. So quickly we saw that all these lovely little blocks with a patio in the middle were not what they were planned as. So now Barcelona knows it needs to offer more green to its citizens because it understands about biophilic design, and the current government group is actively trying to promote participation from the citizens with, for example, this project, the Pla Buits. It is asking local associations or neighbors to become empowered and to take control of these empty spaces. They give them out for small donation, or they even sometimes help with grant monies, etc. Although, of course, we are talking about the administration and sometimes it goes slow. But one of these Pla Buits I visited the other day, and it is called Connect Hort. Connect Hort is, it was this, and right now it is a flourishing community garden. This is a friend of mine, Oriol Ferrando, who's teaching the introduction or the advanced permaculture courses over there. There's even an economical or social enterprise aspect to it, because they make these urban vegetable boxes so that you can also cultivate on your balcony or on your terrace, so you can go and buy them there. There is tipi, temazcal, there is theaters, there is celebration times as well, and everybody is welcome to come and help. So Connect Hort is one of the more successful and well-known permaculture designed community vegetable gardens or green spaces or empty lots in Barcelona right now. Another one is Bosc Turull. This is another friend of mine, Alessandro, teaching the PBC here at the Bosc Turull. Bosc Turull is over here a bit further on the outskirts of Barcelona, and they have 61 plots for community gardening. So you can go and ask if you want to be on the waiting list, because there's a lot of people wanting to vegetable garden together. And of course, there is loads of activities. They have guided walks around the neighborhoods. They tell you about the tradition, the history of Barcelona, etc. And so from time to time, there is also permaculture courses and activities being led there by Permaculture Barcelona. Another one which is quite successful is the Aula Viva in the Exemplar. If you remember the first slide that we looked at with the pattern, all these little blocks, well, this is exactly in that area. One of the corners here with the Avenida de Roma, this is the Aula Viva. Aula Viva was a project designed by the people at Permacultura Barcelona at the time and Permacultura Activa right now, Oriol, Julia, and one more person. And they involved the students in designing this green space right on the sidewalk of a busy street. So the children were mapping, checking the sectors. They were then, of course, making it look joyful, and they were painting. They were learning about the plants, and they were making all these information panels as well. And right now, this is what you see: high rises, lots of traffic here. This photo was taken very early one morning, a Saturday morning even, so not as much traffic as it would have been on a weekday. And this is the colorful site that you see then there. So on this one corner is the Aula Viva, or the alive classroom. And then when we walk down the street here, Villa Domat, we have this corner, which is vegetable gardens and a stage as well for coming together. They've even been able to reclaim a part of this crossroads, because there is also a plan in Barcelona, participatory plan, that is called Recreating Crossroads, and they mean as in interconnecting people, which is lovely. They also have this plot here, which is empty and has now been remodeled and fenced properly, etc., because, of course, there is sometimes vandalism in a city. So this is the Jardins Dema. This is the association that holds all of these projects in the Exemplar area. And right here, there's like ping pong tables, and there's a notice board where you can put up your needs, your offers, etc. So it's trying to make the neighborhood come alive, and for providing spaces for people to connect. So a real placemaking is going on there. And in this particular case of Aula Viva, there was a permaculture design involved, and the classroom, the alive classroom in the middle of the city of Barcelona, was designed by the students themselves, guided by Oriol, Julia, and this other person. So the other corners that I was talking about just then, here you see that part of the crossroads has been taken back. There's benches, there's some greenery, etc. This is one of the sceneries. Here is a notice board. Now a Saturday market, a farmer's market has been set up, so you can go and buy fresh produce, mostly also organic. And this is one of the other corners. There's, of course, street art when you're talking about placemaking. So it's always a fun place to go and visit, colorful, especially when you see that there is green and flowers, and it is in a stark contrast with this high rise being built right besides it. But the greenery is there, and Barcelona is taking action. Another one, I recently met a fantastic woman, Julia Soler, who is working on this project in El Clot, which is a little bit more in towards the Sagrada Familia. They offer design for personal urban cultivation spaces, like here, this is an example. They also offer online courses, permaculture design workshops, etc. And currently they are waiting to get started on this on the Green City Lab, and are waiting for the okay from the town hall to really get going there. This is the design for this empty plot that they have there. And this is permaculture based, this is holistic, this is including the neighbors, this is including the administration, focusing on a lively spot where people can really connect and where we can be in contact with nature within the city. So necessary. Permacultura Barcelona is right now not offering permaculture courses as such, but the Facebook group is very much alive. So go and say hi, and somebody will pick up your message and will be able to put you in contact with the local permaculture designers and practitioners in the town, in the city of Barcelona, which is so huge. And there is so many more examples of fantastic community spaces that are permaculture designed that I've not been able to speak about. So it's inspiring to see that things like this are at least happening in the big cities, in the big metropolis.